wonder what it's like to be a student in different parts of the world? From the bustling streets of Tokyo to the vast plains of the Serengeti, from the towering skyscrapers of New York to the ancient temples of Delhi, students across our planet are bound together by a shared pursuit of knowledge. Yet, the journey to enlightenment is not without its trials. Students around the globe face a diverse array of challenges, each unique to their geographical, cultural, and socioeconomic contexts. For some, it's the relentless grind of academic pressure. Day in and day out, they juggle a multitude of subjects, long hours of study, and the weight of expectations, all in pursuit of the elusive perfect grade. For others, it's the struggle for access to quality education. They traverse great distances, braving harsh climates and dangerous terrains, driven by a thirst for learning that refuses to be quenched. Then there are those who grapple with economic issues, forced to make tough choices between pursuing their education and supporting their families. The specter of student debt looms large over their heads, casting a long shadow over their dreams. And let's not forget the students who, despite having access to education, are left disenfranchised by a system that fails to recognize their unique talents and abilities. Understanding these challenges is crucial in our endeavor to create better, more inclusive education systems. By acknowledging the struggles that students face, we can begin to address them, paving the way for a future where every student, regardless of where they are born or the circumstances they are born into, has the opportunity to learn, grow, and thrive. So, what might some of these challenges look like? Let's dive into some real-life case studies. From the pressure cooker classrooms of East Asia to the under-resourced schools of Sub-Saharan Africa, from the crippling student debt in the United States to the fight for educational equity in India, our journey through the landscape of global education begins here. Let's explore together, and perhaps in understanding we can find a way to make a difference. Consider a high school student in East Asia, where academic achievement often means everything. The pressure to excel academically in East Asian cultures is immense. Picture an everyday student, let's call him Lee. From a young age, Lee's days are filled with rigorous study schedules, countless hours spent in cram schools, and the ever-looming specter of high-stakes entrance exams. He's not alone. This is the reality for millions of students across East Asia. Lee's journey is not just about personal ambition, it's a societal expectation. Academic success is often seen as a reflection of a family's honor. The stakes are high, and the pressure is palpable. Imagine having your entire future hinge on one single exam. That's the reality for Lee and his peers. In South Korea, for instance, the college entrance exam, known as Sun-ung, is a make-or-break event that can dictate the course of a student's life. It's a day so significant that flights are grounded to avoid disturbing students, and traffic is halted near exam centers. This high-stakes culture of education can have serious repercussions on students' mental health. The intense pressure to succeed academically leads to high levels of stress, anxiety, and in some cases, depression. It's not uncommon for students like Lee to sacrifice sleep, personal hobbies, and social activities, all in the pursuit of academic excellence. Yet, this narrative is not about demonizing East Asian educational systems. They have their strengths, producing some of the world's top performers in math and science. But it's crucial to recognize the intense pressure students face and the toll it can take on their mental health and social development. Surely there must be a way to balance the pursuit of academic excellence with the well-being of students. It's a complex issue that requires thoughtful dialogue and action from educators, parents, policymakers, and the students themselves. The weight of academic expectations is just one challenge faced by students. But what about those who struggle to access education at all? Imagine being a child in Sub-Saharan Africa, where access to basic education is not a guarantee. In the heart of Sub-Saharan Africa, countless children face an uphill battle in their quest for education. The barriers they encounter are multifaceted, often stemming from poverty, conflict, and gender inequality. Let's take the story of Amina, a young girl living in a conflict-ridden region. The echoes of war have made it incredibly dangerous for her to attend school. She yearns for knowledge, but the fear of violence overshadows her dreams. This is an all-too-common narrative for many children in conflict zones, where education often takes a back seat to survival. Then there's Kofi, a boy whose family's poverty stands as a barrier to his education. Despite his thirst for learning, the need for him to contribute to the family income means school is a luxury they simply cannot afford. Kofi's story is a reflection of the millions of children in Sub-Saharan Africa for whom poverty is a roadblock to education. And of course, we cannot overlook the role of gender inequality. Consider Fatou, who despite her innate intelligence and ambition is kept from school simply because she is a girl. In many communities, deep-rooted societal norms continue to prioritize boys' education over girls, leaving countless girls like Fatou without the chance to realize their potential. The long-term effects of these challenges are profound. Lack of education perpetuates cycles of poverty and inequality, stifling the growth of individuals and communities. A child without education is an adult without options, their potential untapped, and their future uncertain. Yet, despite these hurdles, there is resilience. There are stories of children who, against all odds, strive for education, understanding its power to transform their lives and their communities. Their spirit is a testament to the indomitable human will to learn and grow. Access to education is a basic right, yet for many it remains out of reach. But challenges in education are not limited to developing countries. Let's now turn our attention to developed nations, where different yet equally pressing educational challenges exist. Think about a college graduate in the United States burdened by student debt and facing an uncertain job market. Imagine the weight of that debt, like a giant stone tied around one's neck, dragging them down. This is not a figure of speech, but a harsh reality for many American students. The student debt crisis in the United States is a growing issue, with the total debt exceeding a staggering $1.7 trillion in 2023. That's more than the GDP of some countries. But the story doesn't end there. After graduation, these students face another hurdle: the uncertain job market. The unemployment rate for recent graduates is alarmingly high, leaving many to wonder if their investment in education was worth it. Let's consider the story of Jane. After graduating with a degree in history, she found herself in a sea of job applicants, all vying for a limited number of positions. Despite her best efforts, the job offers just weren't coming. She was left with a mountain of debt and no clear way to repay it. And Jane is not alone. There are millions like her in the US, struggling with the double-edged sword of debt and unemployment. This is not just a personal crisis for these individuals. It impacts our society and economy as a whole. When graduates are burdened with debt and cannot find jobs, they are less likely to start businesses, buy homes, or contribute to the economy in meaningful ways. This creates a ripple effect, slowing down economic growth and creating a cycle of debt and unemployment that is hard to break. So, what's the solution? Some argue for debt forgiveness, while others believe in the importance of job creation and vocational training. But one thing is certain: this is a complex problem with no easy solutions. Student debt and unemployment are just some of the challenges faced by students in developed countries. But what can we do about these issues? Scene script. Facing these challenges may seem daunting, but together, we can make a difference. Each issue we've discussed today, academic pressure, access to education, debt, and unemployment, are all complex problems. They aren't going to be solved overnight, but with collective effort and persistent advocacy, we can initiate change. First, let's consider academic pressure. It's a pervasive issue, particularly in regions like East Asia, but policy changes can help alleviate this burden. By shifting focus from exams to a more holistic approach that values creativity and critical thinking, we can reduce stress and promote a more balanced educational experience. Next, access to education is a critical issue, especially in areas like Sub-Saharan Africa. Grassroots initiatives can make a profound difference here. Establishing community learning centers, providing scholarships, and implementing e-learning platforms can help bridge the gap. Debt and unemployment are substantial challenges, particularly in the United States. To address this, we need to advocate for policies that reduce student loan interest rates, increase job opportunities for fresh graduates, and provide financial literacy education to help students manage their finances better. Now, you might be asking yourself, what can I do? Well, there's a lot. You can volunteer at local education programs, donate to scholarship funds, or use your voice to raise awareness about these issues. Write to your local representatives, urge them to support education reform, and vote for policies that prioritize education. Remember, change starts at the grassroots level. Your actions, no matter how small they may seem, can have a ripple effect. And when we all contribute, those ripples can turn into waves of change. So let's not be daunted by the enormity of these challenges. Instead, let's be motivated by the opportunities they present. Let's strive to create a world where every student, regardless of their location or circumstances, has the chance to thrive. By understanding the challenges faced by students worldwide, we can work together to create a more equitable future for all.